NPS Now, your source for news and information about Norfolk Public Schools. I'm your host, Karen Tanner, and with me today is Dr. Denise Charbonnet, Executive Director, Secondary Schools, and Tommy Smeagol, the principal of the new Choice Program School for grades 3 through 8. Welcome to NPS Now.
Thanks for having us.
That was a mouthful.
Yes.
A Choice Program School for grades 3 through 8.
Yes.
And we're going to be talking about that in a few minutes. And both of you have been working very hard to get this school up and running for this fall. But Dr. Charbonnet, I know we're in the final stages of naming the school. Tell us a little bit about that process.
It's been quite a process from start to finish. We really started out getting a lot of involvement from the community and from our own NPS family about possible names. So we started out doing that, and as it progressed, we had meetings at the school where the community came in and actually vetted the names and added to the list. So it's been a fun process. We've looked at a lot of names, all kinds of names, and I think we made a recommendation of 3 to the superintendent that are being looked at by the school board. And we should have a final name after this school board meeting. So we're excited about that because the school needs a name.
It does, it does.
That's a mouthful.
It was, yes. And Karen, I'll tell you, it was just so exciting to see the involvement from the community. We had almost 150 submissions in an online survey. And then over 580 votes that were cast on the first round of names. So, I mean, it was just great to see the involvement from our staff, even some students. We had some high school students that came to the forums. Just a neat experience and a great opportunity to be able to involve the community in our school system. And
that's great. So you're going to be the principal of this new school.
Yes. Well, I am the principal now.
Well, you are the principal
But I'm a planning principal, so I'm spending my days helping to plan the new repurposed school.
And so what type of program or curriculum are we going to have at this new school, Tommy?
Well, you know, there's a lot of questions because some people think it's a charter school. We are a public school. And we will have the Virginia Standards of Learning, just like any other school would have. But we are going to have a unique approach to the teaching and learning in the building. And so we've been working with a committee of stakeholders that has designed a school that is surrounded by project-based learning concepts, as well as STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. And then we are working on an application to be a candidate school for the International Baccalaureate program. And so we have some unique pedagogy in the building that is going to make this school a real choice school for our students.
And the two of you have been working together in this process.
It really is an interesting concept. It's the school within a school, and the fact that it's the 3-8, that's very unique, and I think it may be the only 3-8 in the state of Virginia.
It's the only 3-8 that we know of as a public school in the country, actually. We've tried to find other 3-8 models, so that alone just makes us unique. But we haven't been doing it alone. We've formed a great partnership with Old Dominion University, who has been helping us and guiding us in the process with some of the STEAM project-based learning, as well as the International Baccalaureate.
So when are you going to start hiring staff members? What are you looking for in potential teachers for this new program school?
Well, internally we will follow the normal transfer process through our Human Resources Department. We actually have a subcommittee that is helping with that process, but teachers that are existing in the school system will have the opportunity to apply to come to the building through the transfer process, and then I'll interview potential candidates. And then also external candidates can also apply to the school system and be put on the list to be able to be interviewed. And I'm looking for staff members, just like any other principal would, that care about kids, they love teaching, but also are willing to take that extra risk and teaching in a new way. Project-based learning concepts is a different way of learning, and I need teachers that are willing to be able to do that.
So they have to be familiar with project-based learning. And also you mentioned the IB and the STEAM program. So
Right, and we're going to be providing the professional development for the teachers, so they don't necessarily have to be experts on it, but they have to be willing to be able to participate in the professional development and have that passion to be able to teach there, because these are unique. So project-based learning concepts will be embedded throughout the school. IB is just a specific program for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, and so we will be offering that professional development for them.
Let's talk a little bit more about project-based. What is that? So for parents who'll know if their students going to the school and they come home and say, I'm in a project-based class, what does that mean?
Sure. It really is more of a hands-on collaborative approach to teaching and learning, and where the teacher actually becomes more of a facilitator and the students are autonomous and kind of take over their learning in the classroom. And so in some traditional classrooms, a teacher may have a project and the students get in a group, and then by the end of the class they're done with it and they turn it in. Some of these projects could actually go through multiple days, as well as interdisciplinary, where they may go from English, working on the project, and then it relates to social studies or science or math. And so the students do start off with a big picture essential question, and that guiding question takes them through the process. And so the teacher has to be really good and in depth at making those connections across the subject areas.
Right.
It's really about good teaching. It's an inquiry model with high student engagement.
Wow.
And that's really what we want to see in all of our classrooms. But this is a unique opportunity to have a focus on this inquiry learning with involvement from Old Dominion University, as well as the other members of the school planning and management team. It's been a very unique opportunity to work around the table and discuss all of these important issues with community leaders, as well as leaders from our universities and parents, that is potential parents, as well as a school board member who is on the committee.
What students can attend this school? How can they come to the school, Dr. Charbonnet?
Any student can apply. That's what the choice model is all about. You know, last year we embarked upon the study with DeJean Richter, and they gave us a lot of recommendations about things we could do in Norfolk Public Schools. And one of the very interesting concepts that we embraced was this choice model, where parents from anywhere in the district could make a decision to apply for this unique learning opportunity for their students.
Great.
So we're excited about it. It's coming along well. It's a lot of work, but we're very pleased that Dr. King and the board and cabinet had the foresight to put a planning principle in place. It's certainly been a busy year. We haven't had a moment free.
And Tommy, tell us, how can the kids apply?
Sure. So any rising 3rd through 8th grader can apply to come to the school, which also makes it challenging, because if you're at an existing school, you have to make that choice. Do you want to leave your existing school? And we know that we have great teaching and learning throughout the district, but we also wanted to give parents the opportunity to say, well, let's try out a new school. So the students can go online and parents find a website that actually is dedicated to all of our specialty programs and the choice school. They can download an application, and also all of our school counselors at those levels have copies of the application available for students to take home or for parents to come and inquire about.
So parents can go online or check with their school guidance counselor.
And there is a deadline of February 13th. Parents can drop it off at the former Lafayette Winona School. They can give it to their school counselor, or they can even mail it in.
Great. Thank you both for coming on and sharing information about this.
Absolutely. We're very excited about this opportunity for our students.
Yeah, we are too. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we want you to stay tuned for more NPS Now.
Most of our Norfolk Public School students work hard in the classroom and out on the field in front of spectators. There's another segment of our students that work hard without quite as much fanfare. One such group the Granby High forensics team. Forensics, you ask?
Forensics is public speaking and a little bit of acting. There are about 10 categories in the Tidewater Forensics League that we participate in, and those 10 categories also translate to the VHSL League. But pretty much they do some of anything from writing a persuasive essay and delivering it, to reciting poetry, to reading poetry, to reciting a story as if they're actually telling the story to other 5- and 6-year-olds.
Granby is part of the Tidewater Forensic League, which is a nonprofit organization that provides interscholastic forensic competition for both private and public secondary schools.
I like to perform. I like, entertaining people, and it's really fun because I like to do pieces that are more entertaining than somber because it's nice to make people laugh.
Some of the categories that the students perform in include poetry interpretation, children's storytelling, original oratory, and impromptu speaking. Students perform under the careful eye of the judges.
Before me, like the night before, I actually just stay in my room and practice for like hours, I guess. At least 2 hours, just to memorize everything again and to like refresh myself of like what am I gonna say and like what hand movements I'm gonna do, because that's all important and that's what all they look for that, like the judges look for that.
There are special sheets for each category, and there is an enumeration of things that judges look for: poise and being able to present whatever it is that they have the best and to be convincing overall.
There's 3 rounds in each competition, and in each round you're in with a group of people of maybe 6 people in the same category as you, and you compete in each category, and then they take your overall scores and they judge you. And at the end you'll get your sheets back with the judges and their feedback on what they think you should do better, what you did good, and so you can improve each time and at each meet.
Students who participate in forensics find the skills useful in the classroom, especially when doing presentations.
Today I actually did the presentation, and forensics actually helped me with that because, I know how to clarify certain aspects of my TOK presentation and where to add the emphasis on and where to change my voice, which I also do in the forensics tournaments.
I have had a lot of people join forensics saying that, hey, I'm shy, I don't say much in class, and I know that I need to, especially being, the job markets now, they like to have people who can present certain things. They know that they're getting ready to go off to college, so they say, hey, I need a chance to say something in a setting where I'm supposed to talk, in a setting where I get judged for talking, and I've had a lot of those people go really, really far.
Let's take a look at some of Phoebe's and Alfredo's pieces.
Hi, I'm Phoebe Gruccio, and I'm going to be reading a prose piece called 11 by Sandra Cisneros. What they don't understand about birthdays, and what they never tell you, is that when you're 11, you're also 10, and 9, and 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And when you wake up on your 11th birthday, you expect to feel 11, but you don't. You open your eyes and everything is just like yesterday, only it's today. And you don't feel 11 at all. You feel like you're still 10, and you are, underneath the year that makes you 11. Only today, I wish I didn't have only 11 years rattling inside me like pennies in a tin Band-Aid box. Today, I wish I was 102 instead of 11, because if I was 102, I would have known what to say when Miss Price put the red sweater on my desk. I would have known how to tell her it wasn't mine, instead of just sitting there with that stupid look on my face and nothing coming out of my mouth. Whose is this? Miss Price says. She holds the red sweater up for all the class to see. Whose? It's been sitting in the coat room for a month. Not mine, says everybody. Not me. It has to belong to somebody, Miss Price keeps saying, but nobody can remember. It's an ugly sweater with red plastic buttons and a collar and sleeve, all stretched out, like you could use it for a jump rope. And it may be 1,000 years old, and even if it was mine, I wouldn't say so. And then maybe because I'm skinny, or maybe because she just doesn't like me, but that stupid Sylvia Saldivar says, I think it belongs to Rachel. An ugly sweater like that, all raggedy and old. But Miss Price believes her. Miss Price takes a sweater and puts it right on my desk. But when I open my mouth, nothing comes out. Not mine, not mine, not mine. But Miss Price is already turning to page 32 in math problem number 4. I don't know why, but all of a sudden, I'm feeling kind of sick inside. Like that part of me that's 3 wants to come pushing out of my eyes. Only I shut them and squeeze down on my teeth real hard and try to remember that today, I'm 11. 11.
My name is Alfreda Fallerina, and the name of the piece that I am doing is Welcome to Our Festival by Leon K. Well, I woke up to go get me a cold pop, and I thought somebody was barbecuing. I said, oh Lord, Jesus is a fire. And then I ran out. I didn't grab no shoes or nothing, Jesus. I ran for my life. And then the smoke got me. I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that. This was an introduction that immediately caught my attention. Introductions such as this should help establish the mood for the audience and should be memorable. In this piece, the presenter lists out sets of rules and warnings that people should follow if they want to get out alive in the festival. So, welcome to our festival by Leon K. Hey y'all, my name is Viva Ramona Mendoza Felipa Jackson, but chalk and call me Viva Cruz. And welcome to our festival of very funny 10-minute plays that we got without paying the playwrights. The best things in life are free, right? And I have a few announcements before the plays begin. First, if you have a cell phone, please turn it off, because they cause cancer. I don't know why I'm laughing. They really do. It's not actually tragic. A lot of companies have these buy one, get one free deals, and it's like, here's a bottle of chemo for you, and for you, and for you, and for you, and for you. Next, if you need to smoke, there are smoking facilities somewhere else. Somewhere else, but not here. This is a smoke-free zone. And if you try lighting up, there is someone in the audience that will physically assault you. So, I would not smoke, because again, he does get around, and he can be anywhere. And let me see, fire exits. There's a door from which you came in, and if there's a fire, I suggest you run, don't walk to the exit, because I think only the first few will get out okay. And given the size of this crowd and the pandemonium that would ensue during a fire, I would think a good group of you would be trampled underfoot in the frenzy for survival. Yes, it's terrible, but the young athletic ones always push from behind. They push and knock the weak ones to the ground, just like in high school. And then you fall and your torso becomes like a piñata getting beaten by a group of starving children. Oh, as for the elderly and the disabled, please remain in your seats, because slow asphyxiation is a much more humane form of death than having a group of flamenco dancers doing a number in your back. You know, free! There's no music, but you get the picture. Oh yes, there is one other exit I forgot about, yes. If you make your way up the stage and to the right, there's a hallway. You go down the hallway, to the right, go down the second hallway to the third door. And then you make a left, and then down another set of stairs, and then a right, and then another hallway, then through a cave. Then there's a door marked House of Pain. Go to the House of Pain. You will be in no pain.
But early childhood education by itself is not enough to be sure our children are ready to learn. We must also recommit ourselves to bringing and ending the nutritional divide by ensuring that there are no hungry children in any part of the Commonwealth. And today, thousands and thousands of our children go to school hungry. Now, how do we expect our children to learn when they're going to school on an empty stomach? That's just not right. And we need to fix that. And it was because of Dorothy's leadership and her quiet insistence on me that I was inspired to establish the Commonwealth Council on Bridging the Nutritional Divide because, let's be honest, proper nutrition is not a privilege, it's a right. And I want to thank Dorothy and her team for the great work that they've done. But challenges persist in our K-12 system, and my administration is working to dedicate to make sure we are facing these issues head on.
Welcome back to NPS Now. You just heard from Governor McAuliffe about bridging the nutritional divide. And with me today is Helen Phillips, Senior Director for School Nutrition. Welcome, Helen, to NPS Now.
Thank you, Karen.
This is a major feat I think the governor is trying to do with bridging the nutritional divide along with his wife and those initiatives. You've been involved with a council that they've just created. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, I'm very honored to be appointed by the governor as a member of his Council on Bridging the Nutritional Divide. And the objectives of this are to increase participation in nutrition programs and to promote Virginia's biggest industry, which is our agriculture. And then lastly, to increase access to other community nutrition programs. So obviously I'll be involved in the first objective, which is increasing access to nutrition programs. And we're very excited to have a First Lady of Virginia and a governor who are so interested in nutrition of our school children. And part of the governor's legislation that he is putting into the budget is to fund some breakfast for us. And it will be extra funding, 5 cents a meal, for breakfast meals that are served a little bit alternative to your traditional breakfast. They're calling it breakfast served after the bell, which incorporates our very successful Breakfast in the Classroom program. We have 31 schools, elementary schools in Norfolk, that participate in Breakfast in the Classroom. And we've been doing it for about 3 years, and it has just grown organically. It has been a fabulous program that our principals have really bought into, and they have been the ones to take on the challenge and to grow it just school by school.
Right. And so a question for you, going back to this appointment to this council, how did they select you for this honor?
I believe my selection came out of a relationship that I've slowly been cultivating with the First Lady. She came here to Virginia, or to Norfolk, last June when we had the national kickoff for the summer feeding program. And then just recently in December, I was invited to meet with her at a small group to talk about breakfast programs. And so I think from those 2 contacts with her, I was asked to submit an application for the council, and then I was lucky enough to be selected.
So apparently they must have been impressed about the breakfast programs we have here in our schools. And particularly, how many schools are participating in the Breakfast in the Classroom?
We have 31 schools, and I believe that that is at least among the highest in Virginia that has Breakfast in the Classroom. There are different options that other schools do, but we have had a very successful program with our Breakfast in the Classroom.
What are some of our breakfast options that we're serving our children in the morning?
Well, for breakfast in the classroom, you want things that are kind of neat, that aren't going to create big messes in the classroom. So something that the kids miss is they don't get cereal, but they do get a lot of things that they do. Like we do a pancake and sausage, we do muffins that they really enjoy, yogurt. Greek yogurt is popular with our kids too.
So what are some other things that we're doing in school nutrition? I know we have his initiative, which you've already started too, so that may have been part of the reason why they selected you, because we're doing such a great job here in Norfolk. But in addition to breakfast, we're also doing something with dinner.
Yes, we have started our dinner program that also has grown very quickly for us. Last school year, the 13-14 school year, was our first year to participate in the dinner program, and this year we're up to 21 schools that offer dinner. So it's after school, and the kids can come in and they get a nutritious dinner, and it's for any student that's in the building, as well as they can bring in siblings that they live, close in the neighborhood. So it's a great way to, again, be able to offer nutritious meals to our students in the community that maybe don't have access to that when they go home after school.
Are we the only school system in the area doing this?
There are other school districts that do it on a smaller scale, and I have seen it start to grow. I get phone calls from other neighboring school districts sometimes that are interested in just how we are doing it here in Norfolk and how we've been successful. And again, I really credit our principals, because it is part of our principals' interest in providing the best for their students that has helped us to be successful and grow our programs.
So why is it so important for us to offer these nutrition options for our kids?
Norfolk has about 70% free and reduced students, and so we do know that some of our families do struggle to have good nutritious meals at home. So it is a wonderful opportunity for us to have these great breakfasts at school, nutritious lunches, and then now this added dinner program as well. So the healthier our children are, they're going to be able to, have the energy to come to school. They're going to be good learners when they get here. They're not going to be focused on their hungry stomachs.
Right, and that's important because Governor McCullough mentioned in his statement, it sounds like that it's not a privilege, it's a right.
Yes.
For our children to eat, and for us to provide these options and opportunities for our students is awesome. I think it's great. I've seen how it works. The children walk in the doors. Well, some schools I've seen where they pass it out at the door, and other schools they actually have it in the classroom.
Yes, our breakfast in the classroom, the students all actually eat their breakfast in the classroom. However, they may pick it up from a kiosk somewhere else in the school building. Some of them go to the cafeteria and pick it up, or they take it back to the classroom. It's a great opportunity for the teacher to see the students in a different light, I think. They start their breakfast as soon as they get in their seat, and it carries over through the morning announcements. I've been in classrooms where teachers are playing classical music.
Really?
Kids are working on homework. The teacher has breakfast at the same time with her students. So it's really a great small atmosphere where they can have some social interaction as well as enjoy a good breakfast.
So what other new programs do you have coming down the pike for school nutrition?
We're excited about a smoothie program that we started in our high schools. We did a pilot at Norview High School right before the winter break, and we're going to now start rolling it out to each of our 5 high schools. And it's a wonderful smoothie that's Greek yogurt and fruit. And then you can also choose with your smoothie for breakfast another fruit or some graham crackers to go with. And at Norview High, we're doing about 100 a day. We've seen an increase in breakfast participation since we've been offering the smoothies. So we're excited for this. It's a food trend that we have not been able to offer to our students up until this point. So we're excited to be able to do that in our high schools.
And I have a high schooler who loves smoothies, so that's a great option and opportunity for them.
Yes.
So also, you do a lot of other great things too. I know in your mind there's some things that you've seen across the state of Virginia that you'd like to do or bring to Norfolk. What are some of those things?
We're looking at some new ideas for next year. Again, on our high school level, we're trying to increase our participation in high schools. And in food industry, it's sort of referred to as the Chipotle concept, but it's sort of the concept where your customers come in, you present your food choices there, and they kind of build their own meal or their own entree based on your offerings that you have. So for next year, we're looking at doing like a burrito bar, similar to what you might see in commercial restaurants, and also doing a potato bar, different kind of concepts where the students pick and choose for themselves. It's made fresh for them right there. We've also, right now, we're doing a salad bar concept that's the same way, where the students pick what they want in their salad, and then we mix it and present it to them exactly how they want it made.
Well, school nutrition is definitely offering great options for our students and keeping them nutritious. Well, thank you, Helen, for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Karen.
All right, and we want to thank you for watching NPS Now. It airs weekly on WNPS, Channel 47, or you can view us online at www.npsk12.com. If you have any great story ideas or information, you can email us at npsnews@npsk12.com. Again, thank you for watching NPS Now.